Steve, this week we're all wondering about a bizarre plot that the Iranians allegedly hatched to assassinate the Saudi ambassador to the United States, Adel al-Jubeir. Allegedly, Iran enlisted Mexican drug traffickers, a group called Los Zetas, to carry out the act. Does this raise greater alarm about Iranian activities in the Americas, and does it also raise more alarm about the state of Mexican security?
Well, I think it certainly points out that Iran is still active in the Americas. To what extent this is indicative of what's really going on, it's very hard to tell, because it looks like it's either amateur hour or it's a change in the modus operandi of Iran and its clandestine operations in the Americas.
Who is Los Zetas, and are they capable of carrying out such an assassination here in Washington?
Los Zetas is a violent drug cartel in Mexico. It consists mainly of people that have left Mexico's security forces and then went into the trafficking business and compete against some of the other violent cartels in that country. And they have reach, as do all of the cartels now, into almost every city major city throughout the Americas. So they do pose a risk, but they pose a different kind of a risk, a drug trafficking risk and an attendant violence risk to people that get caught in the crossfire of some of their crimes. But they're not necessarily known for conducting high-risk operations to assassinate diplomats or to conduct bombings and things of this nature.
You have a report coming out soon looking at Iran's relationship, various relationships in the Americas. How concerned should we be about their reach and their influence in this hemisphere?
Well, we may not learn very much from this particular incident, or we could end up learning quite a bit about perhaps a change in operations and ways that Iran is going about things. It could be a total feint. We don't know that just yet. But I think there is some concern over a long period of time, ever since the Iranian Revolution and the break in relations between Iran and the United States. There have been periods of rapprochement and periods in which relations have gotten tense. And it appears that we're in one of those periods where relations are getting tense again. And
Secretary Clinton said they actually crossed a serious line here.
If it's true, what is being alleged, if that's true, then they have. And the question is, what else have they been doing in the hemisphere during this period of time that there has been an estrangement between our two countries? And it's interesting to note that Iran has become interested in the Americas because of really three things. First of all, it offers an opportunity to poke Uncle Sam in the eye in an area which is essentially the region in which the United States is located, which is, close to our shores. The other thing is that it offers an opportunity with some of our some countries that are willing to do business with Iran, like Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Nicaragua, and some countries in the Caribbean. It offers an opportunity for them to evade some of the sanctions that the United Nations and the United States have placed on their banking and also dealings with their petroleum and nuclear industries. And the other thing is that it offers an opportunity for them to conduct public diplomacy, or a kind of theocratic diplomacy, to do an outreach through some of the clerics. And you have to understand that it is a theocracy, that very much Shia Islam is part of the scheme of government in Iran, and that in conducting an outreach that tries to explain Shiism, to evangelize it, if it's possible to use that term, is one way that it can begin to make friends and converts in our hemisphere. And that's important in broadening the base of support that it may have in certain countries in the region.
Do you think this incident changes the debate about border security in the United States? Does it make it more necessary to secure our border with Mexico?
Well, because the Zetas weren't really involved in this, it doesn't really change things that much. But border security always has been important. It's going to remain an important question that the United States has to get right. But it has to get it right in a certain way. We can't live isolated from other countries, and particularly countries that are trade partners with us in this hemisphere and other parts of the world. So we have to do it in a smart way, which means using technology to avoid draconian measures that would cut off trade, cut off intercourse that we have with other peoples in the world and the friendships that we've developed.
Steve Johnson, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.